See, if your pipeline feels thin, it's not a lack of bids. It's a lack of visibility and a lead gen. See, most people think that they need more proposals. They need to bid more things. But when in actuality, they just need is a strategy that's going to work for them longer than they do. My name is Melinda Colón. I'm a government contracting advisor, ex strategist, and expert who has helped our clients achieve over $4.4 billion since 2020. I was talking with a client the other day, and he said to me, Melinda, I've been on SAM.gov every single day for months, and I'm just not seeing any good opportunities. And I said to him, I said, who told you that you need to go on SAM.gov? Like, how did you learn that? And he said this, and I hear it more often than not now these days is I didn't know what I didn't know. It's because Sam is only half the story. There are buyers awarding contracts off of Sam all the time. You just can't see them. So in today's session, I'm going to show you how to use MyGovWatch to uncover those hidden buyers so that you can learn how to identify the decision makers behind the contracts, segment those buyers by purchase patterns, turn that data into profitable relationships so that in today you're prepared going into 2026 smarter and winning faster than your competition. For example, one of my clients thought she had no buyers in her state. And we pulled up MyGovWatch and we did a quick report, and boom, now she has an email digest that goes to her every single day of opportunities that she can bid on. And just in the last few weeks, she's been able to win a $12 million contract. They were right there in her state, and she wasn't aware of them. I'm talking about for municipalities, for the school district, even for the airport, the train system, any public transportation. There are contracts everywhere. We just have to know where to look. So if you're tired of going just like spinning your wheels on sam.gov, you're in the right place. So really quick, I'm actually going to pull my GovWatch up so that I can show you what it looks like and you can have an idea of what is available for you. So let's see here. So this is what MyGovWatch looks like when you go to mygovwatch.com. I'll make sure to put a link down below for you to click on. You get a 14-day trial. Now, if you use the link down below, that is my affiliate link, but it also gives you access to upgraded customer care and customer service when you subscribe to MyGovWatch. There are things that are included in your subscription, like having relevant leads delivered to your inbox. And I'm going to show you an example of what it looks like. You get a free trial of everything for the paid version. So you actually get to test out everything before you use it for 2 weeks. And you get add-in services opposed to buying things that you don't need. You just get what you need. And then you can cut out the rest. And to be honest, it's one of the cheapest procurement sites that I know. And one of the reasons why I love it so much is the customer service and the fact that the founder and the creator of MyGovWatch, Nick Bernardato, he actually has been in government contracting for decades and knows firsthand what you, as a contracting professional who is running a business, who owns a business, what you actually need. So I do really love this site. Now, one thing that I'll share with you about government contracting is that you want to make sure that you have a strategy in place. So this strategy can be as simple as let's see here. Nope, that's right. Oh, there you go. The strategy can be as simple as just knowing exactly who buys what you sell in your state. Okay, so there's two buckets of agencies. So there's the state and local education, so they're called SLED, and then there's the Fed, like federal agencies. And oftentimes when people think about government contracts, they often think that it's just federal. But if you look up the terminology in the Federal Acquisition Regulation System on acquisition.gov, government contracts means all government contracts, meaning state, local, education, and federal contracts. So that's truly the definition as to date of what the government is calling themselves. And because of that, that means that there's even more opportunities available for you in your business. So keep in consideration that you're not just looking for prime contracts, meaning prime contracts are contracts that you would be awarded. Like your business would be awarded directly. You'd be 100% responsible for all of the scope of work. But also, there are subcontracting opportunities. So, let's say, for example, that the scope of work includes scope A, scope B, and scope C. And you only provide scope B and you don't do A and C. But you know people that do. You know other companies that do. You could partner with them. And if the adjustment's correct or accurate and based off federal acquisition regulations, you could be considered a subcontractor on that contract. And that puts you above everybody else who might be actually passing over those opportunities. And that brings me to another point. If you come across a contract or a request for response, like a RFP or an RFQ or sources sought, ITB, these are all names of different advertisements. But if you come across an advertisement and it does have scope for A, B, and C, I would highly recommend that unless it says otherwise, that you respond to all of the scope that they need to fulfill the contract. Unless it's a continuing services or an IDIQ or you're just putting your hat in the ring for a specific scope of work, unless they say specifically in the advertisement that you just respond to your scope of work, and it doesn't need to be the entirety, you would assume that everything else that does not say that language is something that you want to respond to in its entirety, in the entire scope of work. You want to be compliant. You see, there's about 10 to 22% of contractors right now that are bidding that are compliant. The remainder are non-compliant, meaning they're spending hours, they're spending time putting together the price, putting together their proposal package just to get rejected by a government agency. They don't even read it because they realize it is not complete. So we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and reading the advertisement and asking the specific questions so that we can stay in the competition for as long as possible, right? We want to build those long-term relationships with government buyers. All right, so let's just transition really quick to MyGovWatch. I'm going to go ahead and log in really quick, and then I'll show you my dashboard. And it's actually really simplified. I narrowed it down quite a bit, but I'm going to show you that in a second here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And let's see. Nope. Here. Okay. All right, so I'm showing you my screen here, my GovWatch, and I'm only viewing three specific categories. I'm only looking at three specific categories right now, but you can have as many as you want, as many as you want. Now, there's different ways you can add them a la carte, one at a time, or you can go by different regions. It's up to you. So you have the entire United States. So I have the East Coast and the West Coast, predominantly just because I'm tracking opportunities for a specific instance. But you can also hide different RFPs, say, or other matches that may fall within another category, but in alignment with what you do. And that happens often because those commodity codes, like your NICS codes or your local commodity codes, those are specifically there for the filtering system. But oftentimes the work might fall within two different arenas. So you want to make sure that you're capturing exactly what you do in addition to the codes themselves. All right, so really quick, this is showing me just 125. This is actually a really small list compared to what I can actually open my filtering system to. And so I can click on expand all sections here, and I can search by a keyword specifically. So if you're in construction, maybe it is CM at risk that you're looking for, or if you're in engineering, maybe it's structural or ADA. If you are in IT, you might want to just put IT, or if you're in professional services, consulting, you'll say like finance, or you could do marketing, whatever it might be, you can look that up. So I'm going to go back to construction and say just construction. And you can ask it like, with this keyword, I want either the exact matches or can it just be anything, right? Do I want to bookmark this? So, yes, I do want to bookmark. I want to come back to this keyword in the future. If you have alternate states, so you can add additional states to this list and have all 51 states if you choose. But I'm just going to look at Florida for now. And buyer type. So I can look at the buyer type. So federal, state, county, municipality, authorities. All of these are different forms of government contracts. You could see federal body, state, county, municipality, airport, EMS and fire district, housing authority, library, school district, public utility, correctional facility, development authority, healthcare organization, higher education institution, Native American organization, court system, state affiliated insurer, student loan guarantor, toll authority, transit system, and other entity types. So, quite a bit of opportunities for your business. But I'm going to go by state, and I'm also going to go by school district. Now, the size indicator, this is something that is the size of a buyer. You can leave this blank for now, and then you can refine that for future searches. Now, your RFP filter is your due date. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, I kind of want to know what is going to be advertised for November. Let's say we want to go ahead and search for November. There might be advertisements that have or that haven't yet been published, but we want to kind of have a couple of days ahead of time, right? So that we know what we're looking for. And then we can scroll down to category. Now, these are just kind of some saved categories. You can add to those as well. NAICS codes, if you have them for your federal opportunities, and then your PSC codes or your product service codes that you could search by. It's kind of like your commodity code, but it's a narrowing, it's another identity or narrowing filter system to find exactly what you're looking for. So it's a more finite search type. So now I'm going to click on apply. And I didn't get any services or searches. So I'm going to adjust something. I'm actually going to go back to, it might be my date. So I'm going to select today's date. And I'm going to search here again and click apply. And here they are. Okay, so in the state of Florida, for the school district, there are several that are coming up due. So this one is November 10th, November 14th, November 17th, and November 18th. And 3 out of the 4 are for the same state. So this are for the same school district. So this is Orange County, Orange County, Orange County. The difference is Robinson Middle School, Bridgewater Middle School, and Cherokee Cherokee School of Arts and Entertainment Repurpose Project. If I was a construction company and I specialize in CM at risk or construction management at risk services, this could potentially be something that I want to look at. This is called an RFQ. So this is a request for qualifications. The next step after that would be a proposal. And then potentially after that would be either a presentation. Sometimes it does shortlist to presentation, sometimes it doesn't. So it's all depending on the opportunity and the scope of work typically and the size of the contract. So I clicked on one of these opportunities, Orange County Public Schools, and you can see that it lists quite a bit of information on this opportunity, including some of the documents. So it can actually take you directly to the site. This does not replace Orange County procurement, but it gives you the opportunity of searching for Orange County procurement in addition to other procurement sites all at the same time. It's really kind of cool. Okay, so now that you can see that, you can see that there's any questions, Q&A, or questions that people would submit, any updates on this opportunity as well, any categories here. So you could see the categories that this specific opportunity falls under. And you can see that it falls under construction trades, transportation, and professional services. The open Recs access is something that's an additional benefit that MyGovWatch offers. And specifically, it helps you when you want to apply credits for this information, you can receive access through MyGovWatch to the full request, the results of the procurement, even if you are not bidding on it. So, this is an additional benefit, which I think is really helpful, especially if you're new to building a relationship with this specific buyer and you kind of want to keep track of how they're responding, like, who are the incumbent, who's bidding contracts, and kind of know who you're going to be competing against before you actually bid if you're not clear on what your strategy is. So that's a really easy and simple way for you to utilize my GovWatch tool. Now I'm going to navigate to the close section because I think that this is probably one of the most valuable assets on MyGovWatch is the closed contracts. The reason being is that you want to look at contracts that have been closed, especially in the earlier parts of your GovCon journey, because it's going to tell you quite a bit about how a an agency actually awards contracts. And if it's a language that comes up quite often. So you can start to see that there's different types of contracts here because I haven't filtered them yet. But you can see different types of contracts here. And let's say, for example, we select this one here from Blackshear, Georgia for a request for a proposal. So RFP for engineering services. And I click on it here and I come to this page where I can request an open Recs access. This is just basically asking for a copy of the solicitation and the responses to the solicitation. Really powerful. You don't want to go in blind. You want to know what other contractors are bidding and what they're saying, what they're actually putting out there into the world so that you can be competitive and differentiate yourself from them so you can stand out from everyone else. So really powerful tool. So now that you can see that there's different ways to search through MyGovWatch with open, close, and then you can do a main search. Now using the main search, it's pretty similar to how you searched before in the previous tabs, but you can also search by PSC codes, NAICS codes, buyer names, super huge, is so helpful, and even the combination of NAICS and PSC codes. You can search by the status, whether they are closed or open, and you can even go deeper into searching further into the types of contracts. So, like exactly this or these, all of these, any of these, none of these, etc. And it helps you narrow down the search even further. This is so helpful, especially when you know the contract name. See, oftentimes the contract or specific solicitation, it might have a name like construction services 08 2025. And the year before it was 08 2024. And the year before that it was 08 2023. And the year before that it was 08 2022. And you can pretty much guesstimate that next year's contract will be 08 2026. This actually happens quite often that the name or the contract number includes the date. And so that really helps you know how or when to look and track these contracts. You can set your own bookmarks and you can have RP referenced. Like, so if there are specific opportunities that you want to reference that are a good fit for your business, then it could actually search and sort for opportunities that are perfect fit for your business. So that is my GovWatch. There's a lot that you can learn on my GovWatch right here on the system. And it's one of the reasons why I love it. I want to also share with you what the um, today's daily digest looks like, and so that you can see what you get in the email, because it is one of the most exciting things that I love to share with people is this. So let's see if I can pull this up quickly. Okay. So you can see it's called the MyGovWatch Today's Lead Digest, and it includes all of this. It includes the opportunities that you would search and sort by, and you get to use these. You get to just click directly in this, and it will take you directly to that opportunity. Now, imagine this is all contracts that you could potentially win. It includes federal, state, local, all of the different government contracts available for your business. Now, you're not having to sort or search different websites. They're all delivered to your inbox every single day. You could decide to change the frequency of those notifications to weekly, but I mean, come on, this is amazing. You get to actually start preparing for an opportunity in December and it's October, right? So these are things that you could start doing. Now, I do want to say that this is something that will help you win contracts by just being aware of them before they exist. But more importantly, you want to know about contracts before they even become contracts. So the first things first is knowing what you're going to sell. Like, you have to know what you're selling. You have to know what services that you're going to offer. What are those key services in your service business that are constantly in demand, that you're selling like hotcakes? People keep coming back for more. Start with those services. The second thing is to target the right buyers. Target who is actually buying those services in the government space, in the public sector. Now, the third thing you'll do is strategize, whether you define yourself as a prime or a subcontractor. This is something that's really important, but it also opens up the opportunities that could really make or break and the chances of you winning bigger or big in the market, in the public sector market. Step number 4 is to propose and price. So making sure that you are focusing and showcasing your value, your differentiators, and really just what's going to stand out from everybody else who's saying the exact same thing. Just really stand out and be someone who actually cares about the problem that they're looking to solve, and do it in a way that's strategic and intentional and really just ethical. Then step number 5 is track. It's like learning from every single step that you took in order to win a government contract. Whether that results in a win or a loss, you want to take note of that and make sure that you understand why. Why did you win? What is your scores? Your scores for every section of your proposal. What was your score for your price? What was your score for your resumes? And understand that you can always ask for a debrief and get information from those government buyers, because that way you understand how to iterate and improve. It's all about iterating and improving. The best of the best in the world don't wake up one day and just become the best. They have iterated and improved through the process, through practice, through iterations. And this is what we're going to dive further into in tomorrow's GovScale Insider Masterclass. In fact, we're going to talk about the upcoming opportunities with the Olympics and the FIFA World Cup, and different opportunities like celebrating the America's anniversary, 250 years old. how you can actually position yourself to win contracts that are going to be notable, that are going to be recycled in every language, in every speech for decades to come, and you can utilize it to your business benefits so that you can grow and be a part of the wealth transfer that is occurring right now. If you're interested in registering for the GovScale Insider Masterclass, all you have to do is click the link in the description down below and join me tomorrow. This is going to be one of the most transformative experiences of your life. No masterclass is the same for me. I'm always bringing the top up to date information right from the market so that you can walk away as a pro in government contracting. Thanks so much for listening in, and I'll see you next time.